Hello and welcome to DCP SideQuest, episode number 92, The Return.
The Return.
Of May.
Oh, wow.
May's back.
May's back again. It's going to be May.
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you.
Also,
all of the above.
Yeah,
that's tomorrow.
Actually, yeah, that's
it is tomorrow.
That's one of the main topics I wanted to ask is how is Eric's going to celebrate Jar Jar Binks on May the 4th?
Well, you see, May the 4th is a difficult time because all these wannabe fans out there who claim to be Star Wars fans don't celebrate the true hero. So
This is
May
true.
the 4th happens, and these guys they just come around on the internet and start talking about all these basic people like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, and nobody cares about them.
Basic protagonists, basic antagonists,
good heroes.
Basic.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just talk about the good heroes, you see. So
interestingly,
the real Star Wars fans.
Yeah. Interestingly, Breyer left, so that means that he just is so passionate about this that he agrees so much that he's like, man, what can I add to this? You know?
Yep, I agree. It's true. Yeah. I mean, this is quite possibly the best thing to happen to Star Wars. Is Jar Jar's.
Best thing that happened to Star Wars was Breyer agreeing that Jar Jar is the best. I'm glad we got that out of the way. I'm so glad Breyer agrees. I'm so glad Breyer
agrees about Jar Jar. Yeah. You know
he
what?
Agrees. There we go. We got it. Ship it. Clip it.
I'm excited about going to. So Disneyland is officially reopening now in California, and I'm excited to finally visit the park and check out the Star Wars land and ride the I think it's called Rise or something. I don't know the names of them, but I'm excited to go visit Star Wars land because I haven't been to Disneyland in years.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, cool.
How are you guys feeling about like vaccination? Like being outside, the CDC just said like if you go out, if you're doing outdoor activities and you're vaccinated, you should be fine. Like I'm still nervous. Like I'm still wearing a mask even when I'm like outside around people. If I'm outside like by myself, obviously no mask.
Yeah.
But, like around people.
If there's humans around that could get somewhat close to me, I'm gonna wear a mask.
Yeah. I'm still not max vax yet either. Like I still got a week to wait.
Oh, you gotta
I've
get
got
max
my
vax.
second dose. I gotta wait till I get max vax to really feel like I'm vaccinated, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm gonna still wear a mask.
Well, they're
now
like
there's like social pressure too.
They're being cautious, like they want to make sure that there's studies that say that it's not going to spread if you are vaccinated. So I understand it from that side because also you don't want to just be like, hey, you got vaccinated, now go look every doorknob in sight, And then they're
now
like,
throw out all your hand sanitizer. You don't need it. All those masks, burn them. You're good.
So I understand the caution because they don't want to like cause a stir beyond that. But yeah, it does create tension. But with Disneyland, it's like at 25% capacity. So it's like a empty park. Really, I mean, like 25% is very low.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like the best time actually to go.
It's the best time.
Yeah,
if
you just have to wear a mask. Yeah,
if you're vaxxed up on a Sunday, you get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wonder if there's going to be people who are like, I miss the mask. Like I miss hiding behind the mask.
I do.
Not
it's
hiding,
great.
but having the social like protection of the mask.
You can have like the biggest derp face going on under there. You can be like completely not even paying attention to the bottom.
Or
half
just
of your
completely like slack jawed and spacing out.
face.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could drool out of your mouth and no one would know.
Right?
No idea.
Nobody knows.
You could have massive Cheeto stains all over your face. No one knows.
Yeah. I wonder if dentistry is taking a hit over the last year. Right? Like nobody wants to go to the dentist anyway. Now I got an excuse not to go to the dentist.
You can never see these yellow teeth. That were like...
Oh man.
Thing is though, like I don't mind wearing one because I have no qualms with following the rules. I just wish someone would invent a mask that just didn't deform your beard when you take it off.
I know, right?
Like,
It's
you
such
do
a
get
pain in
like
the
a
ass.
weird
Weird pouch.
You have the
Yeah.
weird right
Beard
angle
pouch.
afterwards. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I've resorted to having the neck gaiter, so like it covers everything. Because technically, you also want it to be completely covered. Because if there's air gaps, then it's not the most effective. So you have to, you technically need to have, a covering on there. But even that, it's all bushing and messing up the beard, and then I yank it down. It's just a problem.
And And it's not like with like
problem.
It's not like with hair where you can like quickly straighten it. With the beard, like if you squash it like for a good few minutes, like it's just deformed. It's got like a little weird dented right.
You got like lines going down like your cheeks, kind of.
Yeah.
What if you tuck the beard in?
No, because then you get the weird like
upward.
The weird like Oh, you can do that. You can do the thing where you do that and then you
get some of that action. Have it sticking out. That's a look. I think that might catch on.
Some high fashion right there.
I went to the barbershop for the first time today in like a year, and I was pretty excited about it. Like,
nice.
Obviously when I go to a barbershop, they do the beard too, so I had to take off the mask.
All right.
And I was a little nervous about it. I'm like, I haven't been out without a mask,
Yeah.
But and then he shook my hand, which I was a little like, whoa, I haven't shook a hand in a while.
Whoa there, buddy.
I'm not Max Max. I'm not Max Max.
Getting first you cut my beard, now you're getting handsy. Yeah, I'm fine with
my hairdresser, when they have to wash your hair, they completely cover your face. They're like towel, mask, like they put on a little protective thing. So because you're kind of face to face, right? Because they're looking over you. So they completely cover me and them. And then they take it off and you're blinded by the light.
Isn't it?
It is nice.
Like when somebody else is washing your hair, it's like the best.
It is the best.
Like somebody else is like all up in your.
Isn't there a bunch of ASMR videos about that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. It's my favorite thing.
I do like it.
Yeah.
I know. I can imagine why Eric likes it. He's living through the experience of a haired person.
Yep. God, I love it.
It's like, I'm brushing your hair, and you're like, yes.
They don't do that for beards. They don't wash your beard for you.
No.
Not in the same way. No.
That would how would that even work? That's a little weird.
You're just gonna spray it down. My barber today had like an air shop compressed air nozzle that he was spraying me with. Like usually they just hit you with a blow dryer to blow the excess hair off. But this was like, I don't know, 100 psi of shop air. It's like, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
That's how they clean the beard. They just put it in the beard and go boop, and then all that loose hair, dirt, gone.
Didn't you say it was his first day on the job?
It was his first day. Yeah, he didn't tell me until about halfway through the haircut. He's like, "Yeah, it's my first day." I'm like, "What?" That's the first time before I sit down kind of conversation.
Yeah. Do you think he didn't have all the equipment, but had a shop? A shop?
No, it was run in the shop.
Like okay. So it's like a thing.
In the
it's
back
a thing
room
in the shop. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'd never seen it before though. Compressed air. I've always seen hair dryers and stuff.
It'd be really funny though if you're like, "What's the air compressor for?"
Yeah, Jimmy, don't blow that in my ear. Blow out my eardrum.
Jimmy asked a good question of, was he a mechanic before this? Maybe that's his weapon of choice.
On my first day, they don't give me all the equipment, so I just bought this in my car. This is a great job.
Oh man. Well, we got some stuff to talk about.
Returnal.
Yeah, Returnal.
I want to hear about it. You guys have been playing it. I've heard you guys say y'all love it, but also are getting your asses kicked by it. So let's hear it. What's going on?
I initially was getting my ass kicked because it's a roguelike, right? It's a roguelite game. And if you're playing, I'll use Hades as an example. If you're playing Hades, you can just go from one room to the other, and opening the door is how you get your upgrade. So you're never going to miss an upgrade. You get to choose an upgrade, but you're going to be upgrading your stuff consistently without having to go and look for stuff and be super planned out about how you approach it. So I was kind of playing it like that, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to get what I need. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great. No, it's not fine or great. You miss out on all the health that you need, because the peak way to play the game is to go back to your ship in the first area and heal. So every heal you pick up adds to your health bar.
Wait, you can do that?
You can do that. Yeah.
Oh.
You can go back to your ship.
Pro tip.
Heal all of your health. And then every little bit of the green health things that you pick up will add to the max health bar. So then you're min-maxing. That's the way.
Run where I had such a good setup, but I had to go into the boss with red health, and I was like, I've got an astronaut, but I was like, I don't want to waste it too early, but I couldn't find any healing anywhere. I didn't know this.
Can you go to your ship on any level? Because there's 4 levels, right?
It's just the
there's
first.
6
you can only do it
total.
on the first level.
You can only do it on the first and the first.
Okay.
I didn't realize
so
you
it's
have
a
to
3D
You have
pull.
to plan. Like you have to like really take your time and plan out where you want to go and what you want to pick up. And I have something to get rid of malfunctions, so I'll go grab a bunch of malfunctions. Like you have to really pay attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I was not doing that initially at all. And I looked at Thefty's stream and he had a massive health bar, and I was like, wait, my health's never been that big.
I think. I think in the progression side of things, I'm in that position where I'm still not quite listening to. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick up all these leeches, and I don't care about these negative effects. I'm just going to put them on me anyway.
Oh,
and then I'm like, this, and then, yeah, and then it's like, oh, you can open this, but you're gonna have a malfunction. I'm like, it's fine, I'll take it. It's fine. Got like 4 stacked malfunctions. They're like, the next one is critical. It's fine, I'll pick it up anyway. And I was like, run. And then I'm like, yeah. So, but yeah, I clearly haven't been. To be honest, this is one of the things. Like, obviously, I didn't stream it, but when you play things, I recorded my first run through. So obviously, a lot of the tutorial stuff. When you're recording a video, you don't want to like if you were playing yourself offline, you'd sit and read it and really process it. When you're recording, I'm like, I want to keep it moving. So a lot of the tutorial stuff, I just kind of skip past. So I'm like, what's actually going on here? And I've slowly started to build it as I've been going, but I feel like I'm in that stage where I haven't quite got the tell me the ways.
Yeah. Well, so
it's a third-person shooter, right? It's a
maybe we should explain
shooter.
what it is.
Yeah, it's like I see that it's a third-person shooter from watching videos about it, but
Yeah.
everybody keeps saying it's also a bullet hell.
Yes.
Which it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Like, how can a third-person shooter, over-the-shoulder third-person shooter, be bullet hell? What's going on there?
Have you seen the bosses?
Yeah.
Because, like, that exemplifies it a lot. Like, there's a lot of just lights and flashing damage points that are going across the screen. A lot of them travel in geometric form. A lot of them heat sink and all that. So, like, that bullet hell experience is kind of exemplified with that. Where it's like there's just
bullet hell is normally a term used for like shooter, a 2D shooter, like where you're playing as a spaceship. It's a 2D game, and your ship is usually going straight up the screen, or the screen more accurately is scrolling down while you travel up.
Right.
And then there'll be other spaceships shooting like millions of bullets at you. And really, the game is less about doing damage and firing as it is about getting your ship navigated through this hell.
That's exactly what this is, right? Like they don't put a big emphasis on aiming. Like aiming is very easy to do in the game. It's all just about movement and dodging at the right time and jumping at at the right time. And
are you invincible when you dodge?
Yeah, iframes.
There are iframes.
Yeah, but it teaches you quite early because even like you got your bog standard things that are like I don't know what they're called, but like things that are let's call them like wolves or demons on the floor. They shoot in like a flat semicircle arc, so obviously all their bullets come out like that. So you lower with them. Then you learn the flyers. They spread out in like a fan. So in the kind of typical bullet hell one, you're like, oh, I know this enemy. I know that's their firing pattern. So early on, it's quite I say it's quite simple. But then if you get into one of those challenge rooms where there's like 6 or 7 people on the floor, and they start just like laying out these like half circle things, suddenly your room is like, oh, there's bullets everywhere. And you're like dash, 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 dash. So although I know what you mean, like conventional bullet hell is that it's 2D because then you've literally got to go up and down and stuff. Whereas this one, it surprisingly works really well, and especially like in even the first boss when she has this massive purple ring of like things that just drop out and gets progressively wider and starts dropping down. You're literally just trying to dodge around while not getting slapped by her, and then she comes up to you with a sword. It's like you're dead.
Yeah,
and it's interesting because I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is House Mark's first 3D game that they've done because they've actually made a lot of bullet hell games, but the 2D bullet hell games. So they're kind of transitioning their knowledge of bullet hell because they do it so good, and they're moving it to 3D, and it's working really nice.
It's done really well. So in the third biome, in one of those challenge rooms, this is where I have not been able to best that. There's this enemy type that's basically like a Destiny servitor, a big servitor, like a ball.
Yeah.
And it just releases a crap ton of bullets in every direction.
It's just a big ball that shoots balls, lots of balls.
A complete like covering of bullets that are transitioning to you, and then it teleports to another location, does the same crap. And it's like, well, if it's just that, it'd be fine. But then it's got all these little buddies that are flying around, zipping around, doing this crap, and then dropping these random bullets or these random balls of damage, and also trying to dive bomb you. And you definitely get the bullet hell experience from that. Like it's, this is clearly bullet hell right here, but in 3D.
How does the actual the playability of it. Like, it's a rogue like, right? So you're constantly dying and then restarting. I've heard reports that like deaths can be 30 minutes to 2.5 hours, depending on what your run looks like. Like, how does that flow of the game go?
My first run was like almost 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get to, how far did you get?
Third biome. My first life. Yeah.
Third biome.
My first official life. I did get the astronaut figurine, which gives you a safety life. So if you die, it resurrects you right away. I think I had a parasite that gave me a resurrection as well. It detaches and resurrects you on that. So I had a couple freebies right there. But it lasts a while. And
the runs are long. They can be very long.
Yeah, and there's no real save. You have to put it in rest mode. And I definitely think that's like I wish they would have made it so you could just save and go to the menu like Hades does.
That seems like a feature that may be added in later. Like they just didn't have time to get it done, maybe? Like, why would that be there?
I don't know, honestly. Because it's weird that they're like, hey, if you want to stop, put it in rest mode. I'm like,
you want to
what?
stop? You can't.
On this brand new console that has not been super reliable with rest mode yet.
Well, so the crazy thing is as well is if they ever update the game closes when your game like automatically updates it. So if you have it in rest mode, it will automatically update the game, which then the game will close. So.
Bad news. It's bad news bears. They need to fix that. Like that's a glaring flaw right there, which definitely seems like they just couldn't get it in. So they're like, hey, just put it in rest mode. Bing. But yeah, it's it can definitely go from like I think my second life was only 10 minutes or something like that because I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but second life, I went to like the third room or something like that, and there was a big boy that was destroying me right away, and I was like, "Whoa, this is very different from the first life," you know. So the variety of the pacing of the levels can be pretty significant.
They can be very different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what threw me off sometimes because like typically in these sort of games, there's that predictable kind of progression obviously as you get further and further. But yeah, sometimes you do have those runs where literally like I walked into the first room with a pistol because I just died.
Yeah.
And there were so many things shooting me. I was like, what the hell? Like I went through like 6 rooms before I saw this last time. I was like, oh, you clearly want me to die straight away. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I like.
Yeah, but you do get upgrades though. So like you'll get a grappling hook. You'll get suit upgrades in the melee and stuff like that do carry over from life to life. Some things.
When do I get the grappling hook? Is that after the first boss? I haven't done the first biome yet. I keep getting to the boss. I've got the movement pattern almost down, and I nearly killed it, but I haven't quite done it yet.
You got to beat the second biome boss. It gives you the grappling hook.
The second one, and if I die at the second one, I got to go and do all over again.
Which is significantly harder than the first one.
The good news is that so in other roguelikes and roguelites, you have to play through the whole thing again, including defeating the boss. But in this one, you don't have to beat the boss after you've beat them. It gives you a way, and they also give you kind of like shortcuts. So sometimes you can just clear one room and you can just go to the next biome if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
and cool. Interestingly, those shortcuts are randomly generated too. Because I had a shortcut.
They are.
Yeah, I went to this area and I'm like, this seems ominous with these giant moving doors. Like, what's happening? And then it took me right to the third biome, and I was like, hey, I wanted to go clear the rest of the stuff in the first biome. Give me a warning, damn it! Yeah. Yeah, there's a few things to pick up on that. That actually is really clever that they did that, where you don't have to fight the boss again. As far as I'm aware, there's nothing really beneficial from fighting the boss again, though, right?
No, they don't. It's not like the gold rooms or like rooms that have a kind of mini boss in it where you kill them, they will pretty much always drop a weapon. The bosses just, they don't drop
They're
anything.
just like a gate, a checkpoint, right, for your progression.
How's the story?
Really good, right?
I really like it. It's a mysterious, like thriller, sci-fi, psychological story. And it's real interesting. I think it starts to really pick up in the third biome is when you start kind of putting some pieces together. But yeah, it's very mysterious. They do not spell it out. There's a lot of stuff in logs, and then there's cutscenes where you're like, this is spooky. What's happening?
The spooky. That's what threw me off, right? You guys all know I don't like spooky games. I'm not the spooky guy. I'm not playing Resident Evil, right? And I was like, you know what? But I can somewhat accept like sci-fi spooky because I don't mind like Stargate spacey stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. So I got into Returnal. I was like, this is cool. This is my vibe. It's a little bit spooky, kind of moving around, but I'm cool with this. Then suddenly I get the key to go to my house, and I walk in my house, and for a minute I'm walking around like my house, which I have no idea. I don't know the story. I don't know why my house is suddenly in space, right? But anyway, I'm in my house, and suddenly I feel like I'm walking in Resident Evil. I kid you not. For those 2 minutes, I'm walking around checking every corner. I'm just like, I want to be out of here. Every single time I went to open a door, like someone's gonna come out, or like, and every time the door's locked and you have to turn around, I'm like, someone's gonna be behind me, aren't they? I hate that 5 minutes, and then I look outside and there's an astronaut. I'm like, get me out of here, man.
I know. As I was walking to that window, I was like, you never look outside of a window. You don't open curtains. There's gonna be something there every single time. I don't even do it in real life. At night, I won't look out my window in real life. There's gonna be someone there.
Some shadowy figure. It's a raccoon in the garbage. God.
No, that's the thing. So that whole section, I was just like, I don't. I would rather be faced by like big old tentacle Punisher looking dude. Like I'll go and sit and have tea with him as opposed to go in that house.
Oh man, yeah.
People do call it the PT segment. They're like, all right, back to PT we go.
Well, it's really amazing the transition that happens with that, because it's randomly generated. So you're going through, and then suddenly you get into this area where there's a house and the lights on. You're like, what? What the hell is this? This is completely different. Then you walk in the house and you're literally in a different experience. Like you're slow walking through the house, looking at picking up stuff. Yeah, first person. You're listening to things and you see yourself in the reflection. You're like, this is weird, man. Something completely different's happening here. And then you definitely get the horror vibes, like something's going to jump out and rip your heart out or something like that. And they continue with that story. Like it doesn't just drop a line. Things start kind of like piecing together somewhat, at least I think anyways. I haven't finished the full arc of the story yet, so I don't know what ultimately the conclusion is, but you're clearly in some sort of crazy alien time warp / experimentation thing. Because you keep on waking up and you're aware that you keep on waking up and reliving a life. So there's a reason behind you having to be or being resurrected, and you see yourself on the ground from a previous run. You're like, what? And you can hear your logs from previous runs to like discussing what has happened as you go through it. So it's like Hades in that sense, where it's really brilliant that they position the story in a way to make sense as to why you keep redoing the your life, and even says like the places change and evolve. The planet is moving and shifting with your lives. You know?
Yeah. So Briar, seeing as you haven't played it, the story does the details that I love is you will see like your body in whatever skin you're using on the floor, and then you can pick up the logs and it's you talking to yourself essentially, of like letting you know what you've been doing. So like I really like that. Yeah, it's really cool. And you're like, it's been 63 years, and you're like, it's been what? How long have I been doing this?
Wow. Yeah.
And then it gets real sad.
A little bit of a spoiler at that midpoint, but yeah.
Don't get too spoiler.
No. It's not.
So this game is kind of famously $70, right? Like this is next generation pricing. How does it feel? Like, does it feel like you're getting a $70 game? Like, does it feel?
So there's 6 biomes in there.
I don't know. Like, worth it seems like the wrong term, but like, you know, the price increase just kind of put a spotlight on this game as being one of the first $70 games.
Man, it's tough to really tell on something like this, because if you're into these type of games, I think the price point is completely valid. You're going to be like, I'm going to play the crap out of this game. I love it, you know? And then if you're someone who's kind of dabbling, I don't know if you're really going to get the value out of it, because it might be annoying. It might be a bit of a ball buster where you're like, I just can't get past this area and my progression is prevented. So you feel like you might be, you know.
How hard is it?
It's pretty hard.
It's quite tough. It's quite tough. Yeah. The thing is, it's that kind of typical roguelike sort of thing where it's like it's challenging in and of itself, but also there's the random element to it where like you might get like a really good run where you get like a weapon that heals you and you have like a massive life bar and you're like, oh, this is all right. But then you might get a run where you just get shafted when you've got like rubbish items and suddenly you're just like, well, this is just hard. This is hard mode on top of hard mode.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's certain kind of degrees to that. But yeah, I mean, just on the price thing, like it's funny because I agree with you. Like, I'm definitely one of the sort of people that like it. Like, similarly, I know like things like Hades and stuff were indie games, but like if Hades was like a full price game, or like Dead Cells was like a full price game, like I would still pay that because I like those kind of games.
Same, yeah.
But I definitely know that I'm slightly biased on that front. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot of people, especially given that, I guess it's kind of unfortunate because there's a lot of sort of things stacked against it right now. It's like, PS5s are notoriously hard to get a hold of right now anyway. So anyone that does have it, it's like, well, I want a reason to play my PS5. Like, now that you've played Spider-Man and played Demon Souls, like there's everything else is like multi-plat. So it's like, oh, finally something that is only on PS5. They're like, well, I'm definitely going to pick this up. And again, if you don't necessarily know it too much and you watch like trailers, because this kind of goes back to sort of like a lot of the way that a lot of games are marketed, right? Like the underlying principle, they're not like, hey, this is a roguelike. This is what you can expect from a roguelike. You just see like a trailer, loads of cool like alien combat, moving fast around, things like that. And someone that doesn't really know, like a casual person, might just watch it and be like, well, this looks like a shooter. Cool, I'll pick it up. And then suddenly they're like, oh. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a tough one.
But I do want to say as well, because we kind of touch on things like gameplay, story, and price and all that stuff. Like they do an amazing job at like a whole lot of this stuff all in one package. And it definitely feels like a $70 title when you're playing it. Like the movement, gunplay, and the performance on the PS5, like in the visuals, all that stuff, the graphics, like that experience, what they're giving you is very high value. Like it's great. It feels great. There's a lot of different weapons too, and they have different alt fires. So like there's a lot of combinations of interaction. Yeah, different perks. Like the guns themselves roll with different perks, and as you get farther in the game, they start having like 3 perks. I don't, maybe even more. I don't know. So you can actually have the same guns drop with like really great perks on them as well as you're playing through the game. I think someone playing it for the first time is going to see it and be like, wow, this is like a alien inspired planet, like Alien the movie inspired with like tones of Interstellar, and like Metroid Prime, like the map definitely looks like Metroid.
The map is amazing.
Right? Yeah. Amazing looking map. And first time playing, you're going to be like, whoa, this is so cool. I want to explore everything. At least I did anyways. I want to explore everything and look at the details on the map and see where it goes. So definitely like a Metroid meets those 3D shooter type of experiences. And then you'd see that it's a roguelite. And that could be a major turnoff, or it could be something that adds a lot of gameplay value.
Yeah, I think for me, I would say it's worth the $70 because as soon as I use the controller, and like when it first throws you in there, you can feel the raindrops on the controller. And that is crazy. So you can be running through an area, you feel the raindrops all throughout the controller, and then you go under cover and it stops, and that's really cool. And then just when I moved my character for the first time, I was like, oh, this is smooth.
That's good to hear, Watts. I was a little worried that the DualSense would get kind of relegated to gimmick, with all the the really like the HD vibration on the Switch, where like basically nothing uses it.
Yeah.
But with the DualSense, like if we start seeing games that use it, like there's a differentiation between Xbox and PS4 right there is that controller.
Yeah, this is like the first title, I think, for me anyways, the first title that's really used it in an effective way that I'm like, wow, this is cool. Like Demon Souls had it.
Did you play Astrobot?
I didn't actually play Astrobot, but yeah.
But like an actual game.
Yeah, an actual game.
So what?
I played Astro World. Okay, I played it. It is amazing to show off the controller.
Yeah. The other thing too on the controller, which this might not be good for some people. Like, in fact, it had a little bit for me to get used to. Is the regular fire and alt fire is the haptic trigger. So half pressing is regular fire, full pressing is your alt fire, and it gives you feedback.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people have to change that. Like they can't get used to it, so they'll change it to like a more normal setup.
Yeah, I ended up getting used to it. And it's actually really cool that like it's so you can feel like the response of the controller and like the haptic feedback tells you if you're ready. Because like when you ADS all the way, you start getting a vibration of pulse. Like you feel like your gun is charging up for the hit, But when it's not there, you kind of have like this fizzle, this type of thing happening on your controller.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot because it's not one of those sort of things where it's like, say, previous controllers where it's like you can have like a half press sort of thing. Like this is because of the way that the DualSense works. There's like legitimate sort of kind of pressure to sort of stop you from like full pressing anyway. So it's not. So at first it took a couple of sort of ticks to get used to, but already now I'm just instantly just going like half press, full press sort of thing.
Me too. Yeah,
feels really cool. Like and it also then it makes you suddenly think it's almost like you've now got like an extra button on there because previously it would have been like all fire would be like L1, L2, you know, that kind of thing. Whereas now it's like, well, all right, on one button I'm now doing two things. So I like it.
I wonder if a developer could take it to the next level. There's like 5 different graduations of that trigger, and like the further down you go, the more powerful the shot, but the longer the recharge is, or something like that.
Totally.
But like you could rapid fire if you just tap it lightly or something like that. That'd be cool.
This is why, like, I don't love exclusives, but at the moment when a game is a PS5 exclusive, I get very excited because it means that they've probably used the controller at least a little bit. Depends how good they actually used it, and they might be using the 3D audio effectively, which this game does both.
Yeah, I was reading an article recently about how Astrobot was actually kind of the test case for the DualSense controller and using all those extra functions, and that once that game was finished, then that studio kind of released a document that said, here's how we used it, here's like things we learned, here's things. So actually like the first initial wave of launch software didn't actually have enough time to really, you know, the development stuff wasn't there yet for that new DualSense, and actually they hadn't even like talked about it with the developers yet, like Sony hadn't. So it's like that first round of software, like they really had very limited access to that. So anything that was there had to be added in almost right before launch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now you're going to start seeing more usage of it.
Returnal is a great example of how that can be very effective in the game. And I'm very excited to see future titles like Ratchet & Clank. I'm excited to see what they do with that haptic feedback.
I can't wait for that game.
Yeah, it's the DualSense and haptic all stuff. Like I'm very excited about that. It's going to be really cool.
It enhances your gameplay a lot. I think it's very hard to let people know how much it enhances the gameplay, but you know, instead of just running through an environment and seeing the rain and hearing the doors and seeing them open, like I can feel all of that as well.
Yeah.
So it's a whole other sense that's being engaged with the environment, and it really does. It makes you feel like you're there more than you would without it.
Also, the audio is amazing in this game. Like the atmosphere, music, the sound effects, the way, like I don't have the 3D audio thing set up, so you know I'm not using that, but like I can tell that the game would be fantastic with a 3D audio thing because like it's already great with just regular headphones. So.
Yeah, it's
the like 3D audio works with any headphones.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if you had to have like specialized hardware with it or not.
It's like I keep saying with this game is it's one of the few in recent memory brand new IPs to come out that feels incredibly polished. Like next level of polish and design and just everything about the game. They have amazing combatant design. They have really cool audio, visuals, the gameplay, like everything is just polished.
Yeah. And the cutscenes are really great. Like it's very fascinating. Like it's kind of surprising because it's a roguelite. You're not expecting it to have something of that degree, and then they hit you with like this actual story happening. You're like, okay, this is interesting.
I think I'm gonna pick this one up. I was planning on picking it up, but I was just really busy this weekend, so I just I wouldn't have had time to play it even if I did pick it up. But I don't know. You guys are talking about it in a way that I at least want to experience it.
I think it's something that you would be happy to experience it.
Yeah,
100%.
Did you guys, speaking of Ratchet and Clank, did you guys happen to see that new like 20 minutes of gameplay that they showed?
I did.
Was that a PlayStation experience? Was that what that was?
State of play.
State of play. Okay. That game, man, every time I see it, it looks better and better. And I really like how there's going to be 2 different playable characters now with, what was her name again? I actually forgot her name already.
Yeah,
Rivet, which I love the name. That name is perfect.
Yeah, it's badass.
I can't wait. And it looks like Rivet has access to Clank as well, but it's like an unfinished variant of Clank. I don't know. Like I'm really looking forward to this game. The graphics, I think, are going to be just like the first truly next-gen graphical game. This is going to be a real showpiece. But also, Ratchet and Clank games are just fun to play. They always have been. Ever since the PlayStation 2. Their variety of weaponry and their kind of silliness, but also like enough story to keep you invested. They've always done a good job of that. Like, there's always been a story to Ratchet and Clank games, and it's been somewhat heartfelt, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, there's some of those Ratchet and Clank games you really kind of feel for that DM Lomax.
Yeah. I know,
I'm
right?
we're looking forward to this game in a big way.
Same. June's looking great. Did they say what date it is? It's probably already got a date, right, for June?
Probably. I'll look it up while you guys are talking.
Yeah, I'm very excited to play Ratchet and Clank. It's gonna be fun.
I can't wait to see that tech.
Yeah, I think it's got to the point where I've seen enough of it now. Like, it just every time I look at it, like, it just looks so clean. Like, just it still like blows my mind, that sort of dimensional warp thing. Like, it's just so seamless and like
so fast.
Yeah.
June 11th.
June
All
11th.
right, front loaded. I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's not backloaded. Be like, closer to July. Like, yeah, that's gonna be great.
What else in June? I keep forgetting.
Yuffie Final Fantasy VII Story Edition is in June.
Yes.
For Final Fantasy
I
VII.
forget. What do I gotta do to play that? Like, I gotta buy. I have the physical copy, so do I gotta buy it again, or do I just put it in my PS5 and I'm good to go? Like, I forgot about that.
I think you just did a DLC update, right? So I think you just, as long as you got the base game, I think you just pay for the update. I think.
Yeah. Intergrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's
I can't
confusing.
remember. I know there's some weirdness going on. Like, if you bought because they gave it away on PS Plus, and if you got that version of Final Fantasy VII Remake, then you weren't eligible to do the upgrade to Integrate. But if you bought it digitally or physically, then you could do the upgrade.
Makes sense. It makes sense that it's a free update for those that purchased it, but if you didn't purchase it, then you have to pay for.
Is it free?
I think so, isn't it? Is it not?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. There's some weirdness around it. Like, and now I can't remember exactly what the details were because they were so weird. And like, frankly, if you think of your brain as like a empty gallon jug and you fill it up like drop by drop with every piece of information you learn over a lifetime, I feel like mine is now overflowing, and every drop just pushes another drop out.
I think it might have been confusing because it was the free game, and then it was like, well, if you got the free game, you can't get the free upgrade. But if you bought the game, you get the free upgrade. But if you bought the game, you do have to pay for the DLC. So there was probably a lot of moving parts.
So I guess
if you bought it for PS5 recently,
the PS5 visuals, like 60 FPS and upgraded visuals, but I have to pay for the new campaign.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
That makes sense.
There we go.
Glad we figured that one out.
Solve the questions of the universe.
Sorry. Sometimes
now, has anyone here played another game that launched on the same day as Returnal? Little snapping.
Pokemon Snap. I have had so many headshots. I'm taking out those little buggers like it's a genocide.
No, I played a little bit of it. I haven't played too much. To be honest, I never played the original on N64, so I didn't actually have a comparison point. So as a result, I don't know what I was expecting apart from like you're going to be playing Pokemon. I didn't quite realize it was just sit in a cart and be dragged along a rail and then take photos. I thought I'd be walking around like a safari guy, doing my own photos. So I'll be honest, it's cool, and I'll probably play it a couple more times. But I don't really see what the draw is, because I'm just like, what? Like, I don't even get to I like taking photographs. I love photography, but I want the freedom to move. I don't want to be I don't want to be playing like a Jurassic Park buggy. And it's like, no, you cannot go off.
This is a on-rail shooter essentially, but they use a camera instead of a gun because it's Pokemon, and they don't want to violence.
And you're taking pictures, yeah.
I think that was the nicest way Eric's could have ever put saying he doesn't like a game.
Yeah, although I did have some fun because Nintendo sent me this fun little extra thing, right, which gave me more enjoyment out of it. There's so Fujifilm did this thing called the Instax Printer.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
mini printer, Polaroid thing, and now it links with the app, which links with things like Animal Crossing, Pokemon Snap, and stuff.
Neat.
So now you can physically print on Polaroid your actual Pokemon Snap photos. Which is cool.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. In the original game, you could go to Blockbuster. You could bring your save game to Blockbuster and print them out as stickers at Blockbuster Video.
Wow,
Oh,
cool.
amazing!
Amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pass for me when I saw that. I was like, no.
Usually you're such a big Pokemon fan.
I know, right? Just huge
Yeah.
Pokemon fan.
I feel like if there was a bit more freedom. I mean, you know, to be fair, I have only just done the first mission, so to speak. So whether it opens up later or you get more gadgets will remain to be seen. And obviously the other draw is just I want to take some photos of some other Pokemon. But you know, I will say, like, in a couple of mechanics, like there's some cool nuance to sort of, you know, obviously how your photos are graded. I mean, obvious stuff like make sure it's in shot, make sure it's closer, but things like as well, like if you sort of like take cool shots of it with like other Pokemon in the background, you get some points. So there's some fun like nuance. It's not just like, oh, just quickly do a snap and it's done. So if you're going to invest in the photography side of things, there's a bit more to it, but
cool.
It's a bit boring.
So on Retro Slot tomorrow, we're reviewing the N64 version of the game, the original version. So I've been playing that version to kind of get ready for the show, and a lot of what Eric said still rings true. It's like
that's what Pokemon Snap was. Yeah,
I am pretty sure that this game got like 6s as review scores when it came out.
Wow!
But like it's revered now because it's got the Pokemon Snap or Pokemon name on it. Like I think this one, there's some serious rose-colored glasses. Yeah, but when you're a kid, you like basically anything that people give you. You know,
true.
Like nobody reads kids' reviews of games, right?
My kid review would be amazing.
It was great.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's why I was more excited to check it out, because everyone was like, literally, when it was announced, they were like, "Yo, Pokemon Snap! What? No!" I was like, "Oh, okay, I want to check it out because I never played it before." It's like, these guys have been smoking the Snorlax.
That would actually be a great Sunday. You know, smoke a little bit of grandma's gardening fine trimmings
The devil's
and
lettuce.
load up Pokemon Snap. Take some
Your grandmother sounds way cooler than mine.
Grandma's lettuce trimmings? Yeah, when I read about Pokemon Snap, I was like, it's gonna be a pass for me. Not my style.
Yeah, I've just never been that big on Pokemon. I think I'm too old for the Pokemon phenomenon to have hit me like at the right age. So like none of it really hits. Like even the main games.
You could also just play Ghost of Tsushima and then jump into photo mode as you slice someone's head off.
I could do that.
I do like
sounds
that.
more fun. Especially now that it's 60 FPS on the PS5.
And if
I'm almost sad that I played so much of it on the PS4 because I wish I had played all of it on PS5.
Oh, I know, right? Man,
I can't wait for the sequel to that game. Jesus.
God, they better make one. I will.
They better.
Riot.
There's going to be hell to pay.
Yeah.
There will be rioting.
It does make me want to print more photos though, because the funny thing is that even though it linked with this app, the app can actually just print whatever's on your phone. So then I printed like photos from like Monster Hunter and stuff, and I'm like, actually, printing game screenshots on Polaroids is actually kind of cool.
That is really cool.
That is kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
So it's
awesome. What else was there? They were missing something. Oh, Monster Hunter Rise
update.
Yeah.
Update
2.0.
So good.
How is it?
So
I haven't played it yet.
So good.
It's fantastic. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, like this is the update that, you know, if you play it, like, I mean, you know, I kind of get the sort of feeling if you play it anyway that it's like kind of the update that probably should have been there at launch, but obviously given things and whatnot, it's kind of dropped. But regardless, we didn't have too long to wait for it. Waited a month, and like it's fantastic. I mean, there's only, you know, at this stage there's still only like 5 monsters in it. You've got Teostra, Kushala, Chameleos, so they're 3 elder dragons. You've got the surprise monster. It's not even, I don't know why everyone's talking about surprise. It's just Basil Geese, basically. He's just back anyway. And then you've got a couple of apexes. You've got Diablos and you've got
Rathalos. And then you can fight Apex Arzuros in the wild.
Yeah, so you can fight some of those out of the wild. So there's quite a lot added. And obviously now you've unlocked your hunter rank as well. They also gated some of them. So, you know, you go in, you fight Basil.
Mizu? Yes.
Oh, yeah. All the previous... All the previous apexes that were in the rampages, so yeah, Arzuros, Mizutsune, and Rathian, you can now fight them outside of rampages, which is kind of cool. Your hunter rank is unlocked now, so you can actually start like ranking up hunter rank, and then to fight the elders, they are done at threshold, so you have to get to like HR 20, 30, 40, so kind of gives you a little thing to grind. From like a step building point of view, basically all skills are now decorations. So you can now go back and craft them to start really, because like before there was only like select decorations you could sort of get, so it's a little bit kind of like restrictive. So yeah, it's opened it up massively, and it's just really, really cool. There's some like new weapons, some more armor to get and stuff. So yeah, it's
cool.
It's really good.
That's great. So six new enemies?
6
ones that you can fight. If we count, all the ones you can fight in the wild, then 6.
So that's what a plethora is.
Now we know. Plethora is 6.
There we go. We cracked that.
If Capcom ever uses plethora again, now we know.
You better be 6 or more. Let me tell you.
Exactly.
How has it changed like the end game loop, if at all?
I mean, I would say in the grand scheme of things, not massively. To a degree, a little bit more, just because now you can grind Hunter rank, which, beyond Hunter rank 40, there isn't anything at the moment, seemingly, that you unlock. Later on, there probably will be when they do future update and stuff. Right now, it's about HR 40 to kind of unlock the monsters, and then beyond that point, you're fine. Okay. Really, now your grind is just farming high rank endgame missions because they drop Lazarite jewels and Blood Rod jewels. Both of these are used to craft decorations. So kind of your farm is to farm just monsters to get them so you can make decorations. Because there are so many more decorations now, there's this, and this is kind of the cool thing. Because there are so many decorations now, you have a bit more freedom in your mix set making. So now, because some of the part requirements for those is a lot higher. So like if you want to make one of the new decorations, you might need like jewels, you might need things from the Apex monsters, you might need something from somewhere else. So it's already kind of organically pushing you to fight lots of different monsters.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which is good. Obviously, the keep in mind with decorations, there is a finite number. Like once you've made like 4 attack jewels or 6 attack jewels, you don't need any more attack jewels. So it's not going to be like an endless loop. There'll come a point where you're like, well, okay, I've got the 6 attack jewels, the 3 mind's eye jewels, the 3 crit boost. Once you've got those, you'll be kind of pretty done.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's definitely given a lot more things to pursue, which is nice.
That's good.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Because especially for Bo, like Bo does not have really any wiggle room at all. And before the decorations that they added for Pierce Up, Wrap It Up, and Spread Up, you were even more pigeonholed into basically one set of armor that you could wear as someone who used the bow. So now it's like really opened it up, and I can go for different mix of stuff. I can choose a talisman with Spread Up, and then maybe I get weakness exploit decorations instead. So it's really opened up my grinding for things. Whereas before I was just getting my bows ready because I already had the armor. And now I'm going for different talismans, different decorations, different armor, and really messing around and building a bunch of different stuff.
Cool. Nice.
And we got another big update in May.
Any word on what that is?
Right now it's just a question mark monster, but they did say like something about like the ending to the story. So like, obviously the game ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. So that one, and they said like multiple new monsters again. So yeah, no ideas what they are just yet, but more
continuation of the story as well.
Maybe another plethora.
Yeah,
right. Or is multiple 3 or 4?
Multiple pletheras.
Plethoras. Well, it's good that they did. Like, would you say that title update's like a solid push? You know, like a good drop.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, it definitely like it's interesting. I mean, I'm perfectly happy because obviously I've been like spreading out the content anyway. I mean, I do think if the game had have launched like that, it would have been fantastic because I think for a lot of people there was that discussion, which you come to expect. There was definitely that discussion when the game launched. People got to kind of end game and they're like, oh, this feels a little bit short. Like I can't do a lot of things, and especially even done something simple, just like I can't grind Hunter rank, which is something I've been able to do for many years. It hasn't been in every game, but it's been like that. So I think they would have avoided that discussion. But I mean, given that it was such a short gap between I don't think it's great. Yeah, and it's brought people back anyway. So I think it's good.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really solid.
Nice. I'm looking forward to grind it. I just need more time. I need multiple days in a day.
You need a plethora of days.
Yeah. Exactly.
There was some news that I wanted us to talk about because it's really interesting. It's a saga event, you could say. It's an event of various sagas. And that is that Discord is partnering with PlayStation to put Discord on the PlayStation consoles.
Oh, that's awesome. Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's news to me, honestly. I didn't know that. So Sony didn't buy Discord. This is just Discord's going to be an app on your PlayStation. You're going to be able to talk to like PC players or PlayStation players. Oh, that's freaking great.
The biggest news of that is that you don't have to use the PlayStation party app.
Yeah.
Yo, that's really awesome.
It's really awesome. And it's especially interesting because I think it was maybe even last week where we were talking about how Microsoft approached Discord to buy them. And they said, no, thank you. So it's interesting that like basically almost a week later, they're like, hey, partner with PlayStation.
Well, yeah, but the rumor was Microsoft was going to buy Discord.
I know,
right?
Yeah.
So Microsoft has a history of buying platforms like that, Skype, and ruining them, Skype.
Yes, it does.
Right. So like everybody was super worried that they're going to buy Discord and turn it into something that nobody wanted to use, like Skype.
Makes me wonder.
But this is way better news that they're just going to be
way better.
Like imagine if you're playing a multi-platform game that's available on Steam and PlayStation, you'll be able to use Discord and get everybody into the same chat room to play, like Destiny. You know, like
that'd be amazing.
This is huge. This is great news.
Do you think is there going to be an Xbox Discord app? Do you think?
I hope so.
Yeah, I really hope. There shouldn't be a reason why they couldn't put one, right?
Unless it's a PlayStation exclusive, they're like, we don't want to buy you.
Just mad about it.
We don't want to buy you. We just want to exclusivize.
For Xbox, they could also just like invite Discord along to go and fix their UI, so it's not so horrendously complicated to make a party. That'd be great.
It is complicated. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it's interesting.
That would be amazing.
But honestly, the first thing I thought of was like, no more garbage PlayStation party. This is amazing. Although it's like 2022. So we're a ways out before they actually drop a Discord app on PlayStation.
Still, like
there's
it's just
a ways
like,
out.
No,
it's really good.
I don't even care about the PlayStation app and like the voice quality of the chat or whatever. I'm just like super happy that now if I'm playing a game with friends between two platforms, they can both join the same party chat. And like we don't have to get like phones involved or like weird stuff involved. Like this is a huge coup for Discord too. Like holy
it's really
smokes.
good. Yeah, it's super good because more and more games are coming with crossplay and being able to have a single app that everyone can use, and you don't have to have a laptop near you. Like Bryce said, you don't have to pull out the phone. Like you can just use the app in the console.
Yeah,
very good. Yeah,
that's huge. And I'm also really glad that Discord is staying true to themselves. They're not like being bought out by, like Sony isn't buying Discord, you know, and now Microsoft's not buying Discord. It's Discord is Discord, and they're going to be partnering with other companies to make apps. So that's great.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I really do hope this comes to Xbox as well. I hope Discord is just like an app like Netflix is an app on like all your devices, right? And like you can just connect to it and chat with the people you're playing with. No matter what you're on. I mean, Discord it's had a weird kind of run of it. It's like now it's like I'd recently bought a Mustang. I'll go on like a Mustang forum and people are like, oh, we're chatting in Discord. We've got a Discord for Mustang people. I'm like, oh, no shit. So you can talk to people like, oh, I'm having a problem with this. Like anybody else had that? And you can, it's like a live chat, which is really nice. Like Discord's got a lot of uses outside of gaming too. So I could totally see this. Like Discord's got a huge future if they do go public. Like
when you go on that forum though, do they ever write the message and say, "Hey, we Mustang out on Discord"?
No.
Well, that's just a missed opportunity.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Honestly, must be getting tired of these car puns.
There's a lot of pictures of Calvin pissing on Chevys and Dodges. It's like that kind of thing mostly. You know the one.
I guess in a way, Discord is becoming competition for Reddit.
In a way, I mean, it doesn't really serve. The Reddit is more like it almost replaced what was that old Google news, like the RSS feed gathering thing? What was that called? God, it's been so long since I shut that down. I can't remember the name of it anymore. But that used to be my favorite app that Google made. But like Reddit is more like, all right, I'm going to browse Reddit because I'm going to just see like what the top stories are of my selected interests. Whereas Discord is more like a conversation among people who are.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's how I use Discord anyway. Actually, you could use Discord in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I guess I feel like Reddit started out in the way that Discord is like topics being gathered into locations for people with like minds to discuss about it, and then it became more of a social platform. But I feel like Discord is also becoming more of a social platform as well. Like they're definitely pushing it in that direction. So that's why I kind of see it. It could be like a competition for people to get together and discuss the things that they like. And I really feel like Reddit is that still today. It just has more social
Reddit
features.
There's a lot of conspiracies about Reddit being very controlled though. Whereas like, I don't know. There's a lot of good Reddit conspiracy theories, like Ghislaine Maxwell. You know, what's his name? The who was the guy? Epstein, right? Epstein was the guy. His second in command was one of the top moderators. She was like a moderator to every subreddit on Reddit.
Oh wow!
And like that's the theory, right? I don't know that that's true.
The theory.
Like, how did that happen?
How'd that happen, huh?
Like, if you post stuff about it, you'll get your post will get removed on Reddit. Or if you post stuff about China, your stuff gets removed on Reddit. Like if you post pictures of, like everybody makes fun of the Winnie the Pooh looking like
Pooh Bear.
That stuff will get removed. So it's like Reddit. It's a scary
I feel like
place.
I've seen that on Reddit though.
Yeah.
Then it didn't get removed.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe it got removed after you saw it.
Or maybe that's a conspiracy theory.
I'm just saying, look, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there that are 100% bullshit. I'm not backing this as a theory that I believe in. I'm just saying, like, hey, there's some weird stuff going on with Reddit.
Yeah.
Or there's some weird theories about Reddit.
Yeah.
Or it's just another company who has China to appease. Like
possible.
Every other company in the world.
They're trying to make them happy.
When a third of the world's population is in one country, you generally just want to make them happy.
Oh man. This week is exciting because Resident Evil Village is coming.
What day does that come
out? Saturday.
I looked
it up. The 8th.
Well, I think it's actually the 7th.
Oh, is it like the 8th in Japan, but actually the 7th here? Is it one of those deals?
Oh, interesting.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It
comes out on Friday.
I don't think it's any coincidence that comes out the day before Mother's Day, and the main protagonist has big old milky jugs.
Spend some time with your vampire mama this Mother's Day.
Also, heads up, May 9th is Mother's Day this year, so get out there. Get them whatever they want. Cards.
Get them Resident Evil 8.
Candy.
Get them Resident Evil 8 to
Resident
embrace
Evil
the
Village.
mommy milkers.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah, what platform are you getting played on?
I'm the no platform.
No platform.
I think, can we get a charity incentive or something for $1 billion to get Eric's to play a scary game the whole way through and stream it?
Oh, that'd be fun.
We need live spooky alerts. We need all of it. We need the whole thing.
That'd be horrific.
It'd be amazing.
I'll learn how to speedrun just so I can finish it in like 2 minutes.
There you go.
Resident Evil was designed to be speedrun, right?
Yeah.
I want to pay somebody to stay in that closet behind him for about 6 hours and jump out at just the right time.
I would die. I would just no.
I'm looking forward to that game. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I probably won't get to play it that weekend though, because it's Mother's Day weekend, so I'll be doing Mother's Day kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to play it.
Maybe I'll get to play it on the Monday afterward.
I can't wait.
Well, I think I'm gonna play it on Xbox. I think to answer your question, because that's what's hooked up in my living room right now, and I want to play it in the brightest lit room with most sunlight.
Or you could also stream it, and we could watch you be scared, which pleases me.
There you go. I plan on streaming it because I really like streaming the Resident Evil games.
Yeah,
And
they're fun to stream.
Since my PS5 is hooked up in the stream office, I'm going to be playing.
Oh man, PS5. You got it like framed behind there.
Yeah, see that?
Look at that
To show how massive it is. Look at that chunk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my PC right behind it. PC and then the chunky PS5.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
So that comes out on Friday. So we'll be discussing that next week. Resident Evil 8.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun. And then in May, there's also Biomutant coming out.
Right. I've been getting chastised for not knowing about this.
That's the game that you...
Because it's a game that was announced, and it was one of those games that people were like, nah, looks too freaking good. This game's never coming out. And then they're like, all of a sudden, I realized it's coming out May 25th. And it's
yeah,
like
this game looks awesome.
It does look awesome. It's an open world RPG where the combat is based on like martial arts. So their combat system is a martial arts based system. So I'm hella excited.
Cool. Well, that's SideQuest, isn't it?
I believe so.
I think so.
Complete.
Are we still doing the ding thing?
Ba-ding.
Yeah, but you have to mouth it. Bring.
Bring.
Well, thank you very much for hanging out, listening, watching, putting our podcast on. We appreciate all the support. Shout out to our Patreon members and our Twitch subs for supporting the shows. You guys are awesome. Watts, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
Eric's.
You can find me over on YouTube at Scuf Gaming or Twitter at Eric's, where this week I will be playing. I might try and do some more Returnal this week. I might try and defeat the first boss.
Cool. When's your video dropping on the history and saga of Jar Jar Binks?
Tomorrow morning I will drop the tweet, so that people can benefit from that top quality information. In fact, I might even schedule the tweet tonight so it goes live in the morning, so I can wake up to people appreciating my Star Wars fandom.
That's great.
I'm not a fake fan.
You should.
And I assume Briar is going to be, that's what you're going to be doing tomorrow, Briar, is favoring and retweeting,
blocking Eric's on Twitter.
I think you can find Briar Rabbit going to some weird forums, searching for Jar Jar.
Yeah.
I still want to listen to Mercules' podcast, this new Star Wars podcast. I haven't done that.
Beneath Twin Suns.
I'm still looking forward to that. Yeah.
Maybe you're
we need to get Eric's on the podcast somehow. We need to get Eric's on the Star Wars Mercules podcast so they can have the Jar Jar? 2021 Great Jar Jar debate.
I think we should wait until we can get them into the same room, like at a convention or something.
That's fine. I'll go on stage and I'll yell at all the Star Wars fans and be like, look, right, you're all fake fans. You don't appreciate it. Right. I've just scheduled my tweet. I've just scheduled my tweet that says, "May the 4th be with you." Shout out to the best character in the entire series. I hope you're ready for this. Schedule.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Briar, where can people find you?
You can't. I'm hiding. I can't be found no matter how hard you look.
Because of Resident Evil?
Although you can find him on the Retro Slot podcast tomorrow.
True. I'll be arguing with Jay Sniperton about Pokemon Snap because he's a big fan, and I am not.
Oh, man. I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. I have streamed Returnal a few times. Really enjoyed it. I plan on streaming it again once more this week before Resident Evil. And if all goes well, I plan on streaming Resident Evil as well. The whole story. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time for another episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Mahalo.
Bye.
Mahalo.